Hey, we're out here in the field that I have videoed a couple times, and I'm just showing again what I like to call a hack to your traditional farming and pasture management, because I want you all to take a look at what we have here. We do not have any synthetic fertilizer. We do not have any tillage on this field. And so we're going to be cutting this down. And I know some of you all are probably screeching and saying why, but we're going to be cutting this down. It is the 21st of August, Labor Day weekend. I'm going to come in here with my tractor. I'm going to put it in one low, and I am going to creep through all of this just for the biomass. Now, why have I not grazed this? I don't have cows. And the reason that I planted it is because I didn't want fire ants. I did not want to graze it. I want biomass. And with the biomass that you can produce here, you really don't have to worry about any fertilizer. This is the third season that we have really stepped up what we're doing out here in the pastures. If you guys see the video, we planted last fall. We put down the Abruzzi rye. We put down the cowpeas. We put down a cereal rye. We put down a ton of ryegrass, and we also put down some perennial fescue. This field was done in that. We came in the spring. We let all of the rye get to a full head. We did not graze it at all. And then we cut it. You can see where we cut that and why we've had success right here. This is the armor plating. This is the ryegrass that you hear so much about in rotational grazing. This is all armor. And you can see how thick down that goes. The ground is still good. That is blocking the sun. It's keeping the temperature down. But this has not been drilled in. I always think it's funny when I see all of these guys that are homesteading and they say, well, we drilled it in. If you're homesteading and you've got access to a $2,500 drill seeder, man, power to you. This is what I'm doing with just a broadcast spreader on the back of my Kubota and a drag, which is a chain link fence, and a telephone pole attached to it. Again, I want to show all of the seeds that we have here. You can look and see. I'm in here. This is sorghum Sudan sweet grazer. I'm 6'1". I can't even touch the seed without pulling it over. It's full in here. When we walked up here, there were birds everywhere, okay? So what I want to show you is we planted. Here's another thing. Everybody says, all the hunters say, man, you plant those cowpeas, you're not going to have anything. They're going to graze them down. We're right here on the edge. Look how thick this bahia is. Again, this has not been grazed. That's a cowpea, okay? That has not been touched by the deer. It's right there. You can look over in here and see how thick this is, okay? You can see the seed heads. Look right here at the size of this cowpea, okay? That's 3 feet, what is that, about 3 feet tall? Okay, cowpeas are in here like crazy. We did put sunflower in. I don't know whether the sorghum actually choked out the sunflowers or not. We did have some at the beginning, and we did see some deer activity early on with the nipping of the top of those. But again, I just want to show, we're gonna start cutting this shortly. I just want to show you all, you do not have to come in the spring and burn and put chemicals down on a field that your animals are going to be grazing. I don't understand it. I love when you all comment on it. I don't understand and would love some leadership on how you can take an animal. You know, people say, I'm eating healthy, I'm raising my animals at home, but you're coming in and spraying a chemical on everything. You're killing it back. You're complaining about the seed. Look at all these seeds. You're complaining about the seeds, you have to go buy them, and then you plant it, it grows up, you graze it hard, and then you start the process over again. I had an old timer recently tell me, and it really stuck to me, as a guy from Auburn, and some of the things that he talked about were really mind sticking to me, and that was this. If you have soil and you burn the grass that's on it, you basically have a glass of water. And this is the way you have to think of this. You have a glass of water, okay? That's it. There's no nutrients, it's just there. And will it sustain in the glass? Sure. But if you burn your grass and you cut it down, and I'm speaking with chemicals, not fire, you come in and you completely put chemical on your field. Number one, that chemical's going in the ground. It's killing anything in the ground. Okay, that's number one. Number two, you've killed all the nutrients. So that's a glass of water. You have to add tea, okay, which is this. You have to add plants into that glass of water, which let's say is tea. And then to give that tea or that Kool-Aid a good flavor, you have to add sugar. And that is your synthetic fertilizer. Your drink, if you don't do that, all that you're doing is simply, a big horsefly, all that you're doing is simply having a glass of water, and you have to add nutrients. I'm not adding anything to this. This is straight dirt, no chemicals. When my sheep graze on this, I'll sell my sheep for more because there are no pesticides, there are no herbicides. People can come up here and see this when they buy them. But we're gonna go ahead and start mowing. I wanted you all to see, and again, I'm gonna crawl in here, and let's hope there's not a snake. We are in Alabama. I want you to see what this looks like, okay? No fertilizer, no drill, no nothing. This is a guy from Atlanta that came down here, got a broadcast spreader, spread this out, and continues to do it in the spring and the fall, and this is what I'm getting, okay? Don't complain that you don't have the money to buy seed. Don't complain that you can't afford fertilizer if you are doing nothing but making your farm completely dependent upon those two things. This is going to put at least 2 tons of biomass per acre on my pasture. It will lay here and it will rot for 2 weeks. The sun will come, the rain will cook it all down, and I will come through and broadcast my bruisey rye, my cowpeas, my Australian cowpeas. I'll probably put some vetch, I'll put a little bit of clover, and then I'm done. When it rains, the seeds will get down into all of this and we will start all over, okay? This will be what I will graze next spring with this much healthiness. Let's get to doing some mowing. I want to show you guys what we can do with the tractor. Well, here we are. A couple of days have passed. It's gotten way too hot. I think the heat index yesterday was 119, and I held off from cutting. And we are going to be hitting this today. I do want to show you all something. Just to give you an example, I drove the tractor up. I'm going to be using my Kubota M4800. And I came through with the bush hog. I want to show you guys. You can see right here, just coming through with the bush hog knocked all this down. Look at all the seeds. You know, all that we talk about. Look at that. It's just, that's going right back in the ground. I'm also using, so I've had a couple of people in the past, and somebody is asking what bush hog I use. I have the 6-foot bush hog squealer. And as you can see, the back is not open. So this really mulches up a lot of what we have. I'm gonna go a little bit high with it at first because this is extremely thick. You can see with the sorghum and the bahia, the established bahia. We've even got some sun hemp over here. And the sun hemp is very thick and porous, but we're gonna start off, we're gonna go down here and start bush hogging, and then we'll show you the end result when we're done. So stick around, you'll see a huge difference. Okay, we're back and we have finished cutting. I actually cut 2 days ago, and I allowed it to actually dry out a little bit. It has been so hot up here. Our heat index was 119 the other day. when I was cutting, and it just was not a good time. So I stopped, and I wanted to take some time and show you all. So this is just an example of what I'm talking about. You hear a lot of times in regenerative farming about the cushion feel. You're not stepping on hard ground when you're doing regenerative farming. And this is a prime example of the biomass. If you want to take this on a smaller scale, think about when you mow your grass and you have clumps, and how all of that goes down into your lawn and it rots and it feeds your lawn. This is an example of that on a much higher scale. So I want you just to look at this, and you can see as I'm stepping, you can see just how much of a cushion this is. Okay, this is just how thick, and the seeds are everywhere. You can see just how thick that is. And even underneath, we're not even to the original grass yet. Even underneath, look at the stalks that are underneath here that are rotting as well. This is all, and then underneath here, that is just, we are at over 100 today, and that is just as cool as you could possibly get. So I just wanted to show you all of this is gonna rot. Now, when I plant my seeds and I do a broadcast, all of those seeds are gonna land in here. They're gonna get down here in the rain, and this is my armor. This is no different than topsoil. In fact, it's better because, and look, there's all your Bahia seeds. Okay, there's your Bahia seeds that are just going back in here. You're not having to buy those. And then if you step back right over here, and you can see, again, look at the seeds from just dropping those down. This is all, we bought it once. We're not going to buy it again. That's all seed pods. They're everywhere. All these stalks, they're just going to slowly break down. And you can see this is everywhere. You can see just how thick. I can't emphasize it enough. You can see just how thick this is throughout this entire field, okay? Over here, where it knocked down, where it didn't mulch, there's a bunch of green seeds, all of that, okay? People are buying this year after year, and this is just straight out sorghum Sudan grass that is just going right down into the soil. The seeds will go down into the grass like this. You time it out right before it rains. It goes down, the rain goes down, and it goes right into the soil, and you have that. You don't have to disc up the soil. You don't have to use any equipment. You can come out here and do a hand spreader. The point to all of this is you don't have to come in here and disrupt the soil. All you have to do is let this stuff grow up, cut it down, and then broadcast your seed over it. And this is already your topsoil, okay? This is already here. The seeds will grow in this, and you've got other seeds down there that'll come up as well. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. I cannot emphasize enough how easy this is once you get started and you do this correctly. Any questions or comments, let us know. Appreciate you checking out the channel, and give us a thumbs up. Thanks.